We are live. Welcome to the RedBlue Podcast. Today we got a special guest, and right now he's occupied. He will be right back shortly. Now, usually I like to speak about DC stuff, but today the main focus will be Miss Marvel because obviously Superman and Lois is off air, and yeah, there's also the Flash that ended last week. So the main focus, as I said, this week would be Miss Marvel, and I will leave as well the in the description below the YouTube channel if you want to showcase any YouTube channel. So I hope guys will still enjoy if even if the main focus will be Miss Marvel. Now, my thoughts so far, well, the show is special and I will try to entertain all of you for the meantime. We also got news last week. I think it was Friday or Thursday. I can't really remember. Maybe it was Saturday. But we learned the premiere date for the third season of Stargirl, which is amazing. I cannot wait for that. That kind of breath of fresh air we all need. Well, it's out there. I really hope season 3 will be as good as season 1 and 2. If you have been around for a while, you may know how much I like Stargirl TV show. And this is also why I plan in the future on making a video placing Stargirl versus Miss Marvel as TV shows, not as character with powers, but really as TV shows. And this is really sad because Miss Marvel feels like a blueprint. But of course, Marvel need to do their Marvel stuff. So let's hope Cole will be back soon, so we can truly start the discussion about everything. Um, yeah, Superman and Lois really good. Miss Marvel kinda disappointing to be honest. I am not surprised it has low viewership. Now, will Disney take that seriously and think, oh, maybe we should fix something in the show? I don't think so. They think they're perfect. They think they do the right thing. Even if it's failing, well, when you are failing, you should think about other options and other ways to do stuff. That's the way it is. Now, um, we got 5 episodes so far, so maybe episode 6 will be amazing. I really hope episode 6 will be worth watching. I really hope it will undermine all the bad the first 5 episodes were able to do. I have doubt about it. If you have weak foundation, it's really hard to build something strong above said weak foundation. And this is really sad to say here. They had blueprint. They clearly have the money. So what went wrong? Well, I guess the writer. So yeah, we are waiting for Cole again. I don't want to go too far in detail because we don't have the guest to bounce back on. You will there. You will be there. You will be there. Oh, you're there.
Yeah,
So
sorry about that.
you can now present yourself, dear guest.
Hey, Cole, been on MSK's streams a lot and other people's streams. I don't really have like my own social medias really that I use often, but yeah, usually hop on a lot of people's other people's streams, and yeah, it's first time I believe on your stream, is it?
Yeah, it's the first time, and I hope you will come back eventually. So
I would usually just there's like so dozens and dozens of streams. I like always hop on at like all the time, so it's hard to, but I definitely will as long as I have the time.
that's great to hear. So, do you have any YouTube channel or anything you would like to plug? I would place it in the description of my stream so people can
Uh,
follow you and subscribe. Or
sure. I'll link it to you in the DMs on Discord shortly. Now I definitely won't bother saying it. It's just like my real name, and you'll never be able to find it. It's there's probably like a billion people with the same stuff, but
that's funny
so
because I did try to search for your YouTube failure. I wasn't able
yeah.
to find it.
hmm I
So
mean, if you search by like my old name, you might be able to find it, but I don't know.
so
Yeah, these are my social media basically that I use the most. So yeah.
perfect. I will share that. So now, Miss Marvel is the big thing right now tonight because about what I understood, that's what you are currently watching. But I was still wondering, like, um, are you into Superman and Lois at all, or you just don't care or don't like it? And
Uh, I am. I just the thing is with TV shows, I'm always behind on all of them. I have like 500 shows I've just started but never finished. Like films, I watch easily all the time. Just shows, I watch like the first 3 episodes and then like put it off forever. And Superman and Lois is kind of another one where, but I will say out of all I do not like really any of the CW shows. I know people said like Stargirl is also good, but I don't know. I don't really like any of them. But so far, Superman and Lois one is actually the one that I've been enjoying so far. And I don't think it's like CW actually making a good show. I think it's a fluke because all these CW shows are basically just like let's put all these superheroes in like the most just civilized places and just make it like a shitty drama. Whoop, yay! And but with Superman though, it actually kind of worked out because that's kind of the character. Just him trying to like live his life as like a normal person, as like a immortal, powerful being. So so yeah, they unironically made a solid. Well, sorry, unintentionally made a solid show because of that. Definitely wasn't intentional though, because if it was, then we wouldn't be getting these shitty side storylines like we do in every CW show. But
so that's very funny. So you're telling me you don't like Stargirl? I'm actually surprised. That's interesting.
no, I haven't seen it yet. People say it's
Oh,
good.
okay. You haven't seen it, so I think it's on another level. It's really good, and I really recommend it. It's my personal favorite live action comic book TV show, so you really should give it a shot. And it's coming from a huge Daredevil fan here. Have you seen the
hmm
Daredevil Netflix Daredevil?
Again, just everybody says it's like a great and very gory. Great Kingpin, I believe it was.
You haven't seen it.
Yes, but again, just all these shows usually, basically just any, besides like the odd shows that I really love, like Better Call Saul, and Succession. I I just watch like the first few episodes and then just like hold it off. But unless it's a show that's like ongoing right now, like the latest MCU show that comes out, then I'll watch all of it.
That's interesting. So, have you ever watched like The Flash, or you stopped really fast because, as you said, you don't
I
like it?
Yeah, so I did watch. I didn't. No, I haven't watched all of it, but yeah, I did watch like enough of the Flash. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. Really, there were parts I liked about it, and some of the actors I liked, but that's about it. Like I just like it started because I didn't watch it at one point, but then MSK needed be on for some Flash episode reviews, pretending like I watched it as like a joke because he couldn't get anybody else for the review because they all stopped watching it. They needed one person for it, so yeah. But then I eventually decided I'll start kind of watching it, try it out. Yeah, it definitely was not my thing. I think it's like better than or CW shows, but I don't think that makes it great because I think that's a pretty low. It's a pretty low bar for other CW shows like fucking Batwoman.
I agree. Batwoman is awful. Season 1 and 2 are unwatchable. Season 3 they did improve, but it's still very mediocre, and it's far behind what it should be, and it's very sad to say. Now, um, Miss Marvel, have you seen episode 5 or only 1, 2, 3, 4?
Miss Marvel, I started watching episode 5 and I kind of stopped. I was gonna finish it later on before did this, but I got caught up with some things. But honestly, if you like spoil like it, I wouldn't care. Really, honestly, I don't really
Okay,
care much.
so
I,
we will
I, I
speak
think
about 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 then. So it's not really a review in deep. It's more like we speak about the show so far, and
yeah, just what we
what do
think
you
about
think
it.
about it?
So far, okay. I will say going into it, my expectations were extremely low. I wasn't really a fan of this character. I like the idea of this character and the Captain Marvel character and stuff, but every just like comic book and everything they've like done with it, every film just has been terrible in my opinion. The few things I did like about this character going into it though was like some of her origin and like her powers. And those were the few things they fucking changed in the show. So the things I actually liked, they changed going into it. So my expectations for this were extremely low. But yeah, I watched the first episode and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of like what I expected. Just another meh MCU property. Not terrible though. People were like loving it though and giving it like a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I didn't really get. Like,
Me too. I
I
don't
get
get
like
it.
yeah, it's like I get the enjoyment sort of out of it, and like if you're younger, but I think there were many missed opportunities they could have done in it. It just wasn't perfect. It's just another MCU show. The longer it went on, though, I started enjoying it more, and I definitely would say that it's one of the better MCU shows. But again, that's not really low bar because, in my opinion, I think just the majority of them, like Loki, Moon Knight, uh, WandaVision are just kind of like average, decent.
I just
Definitely.
can't believe they screwed up Moon Knight. I just can't believe it.
I can because I don't know how to handle those topics at all. Kevin Feige and them. They didn't. There was some guy who said they literally added that like hippo character because he liked him, not because it made any sense, right, and wise or in the story, just because he liked the character, so they added him.
Wow.
They-
Uh,
these are the people we have at Marvel.
am I the
But
only
it's
one that has echo? Do you hear some echo? Echo?
uh
That's
my
weird.
side or
I
my side or your side.
I don't know it if it. Oh, looks like it's been solved. So you did something and it's solved.
No clue, but fuck, Moon Knight. Like, it's just like when you have literally your writers at Marvel add something into a show that makes no sense just because they like the character. Like, those are the people you have in charge. You need to think about your life choices. Like, Jesus fuck. Like, I remember this one time. Like one of the producers of Fast and Furious, one of the films, added magnet cars just because his 5-year-old son wanted it. These are the people in charge of Hollywood for you.
So, what is your first thought when we speak about Miss Marvel having a low viewership? What would you be your explanation?
Um, the X, I mean, pretty easy. Number one, it's just unlike other shows, it's not a. But actually, there's three reasons. Number one, Obi-Wan at the same time, not a smart move. Number two, advertising for it was shit. Like the trailers made it look like complete fucking shit. Number three, it's just not a type of MCU show that everyone would want to watch. Really, not that type of genre. Like you, anything else they've made so far, like WandaVision, Hawkeye. Like, there's like majority of people would be like, okay, I'll check it out. Something like Miss Marvel though, with like what they're tackling, I not something that everybody would really want to check out. Just like, yeah, not really my thing. Yeah, I would say those are the three biggest reasons why.
That's very interesting, and this is funny because they try to sell this show as a superhero TV show, but it doesn't feel like it, and it
Yeah.
feels like really bad. And I think, well, that's my take. It's one of my least favorite TV show. Now, of course, I haven't seen Loki. I never cared about Loki. I've never seen WandaVision. So there's a lot of Marvel stuff I have not watched because
They're
I
all
know they
just
don't want
meh to
me.
me.
Huh?
Like Falcon and Winter Soldier, I liked a lot, and I would say that's very good. Outside of that, though, there's all decent to me, which is yeah. And this is just another decent one. I would say What If is probably the worst one. There are only like one or two episodes I really liked of that.
So so these are like Falcon and Winter Soldier. You say it's really good. So I'm wondering what did you like in this show? I'm curious because I've heard a lot of bad stuff about it. I haven't seen it because I was like, I don't know. I
In
don't
Falcon
really
and Winter
care about the
Soldier,
character. Yeah.
uh, oh, the characters, yeah, they did a great job with that, and with the new Captain America who became that, they did a really good job with that, and like the dynamic and chemistry of like Falcon. They tackled the writing in it was really good for once. Like all these MCU shows have been lacking with the writing, but the writing in that was really good for like episode. Just tons of like things you didn't expect in it. It's just like it took all the things that all the other MCU shows were doing, but it actually elevated it and made it feel like more quality, like an HBO show instead of just like a Disney Plus show. In my opinion, and actually did like just a great job. Like the writing's the number one thing. The writing for like every other one kind of sucks. So
That's interesting. So have you seen Alt Guy?
sorry, what's that?
Have you seen Alt Guy and Kate Bishop? The archer Alt Guy.
Oh, Hawkeye and Kate
Yeah,
Bishop.
yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. A lot of people were like trashing on it the whole way through and on like MSK streams, but I thought it was decent for what it was throughout pretty much 95% of the show. Definitely isn't anything special, and it doesn't really do anything. It's just like a whatever show. You don't need to watch it all. Just definitely needed more episodes, or just I don't know, just make it a film. Uh, but it was decent for like the whole way through, I guess. Definitely not well made at all, really, but just decent. But then that fucking finale, easily the worst. Now Moon Knight might beat it now after seeing that, but outside of that, maybe that's got to be that's definitely one of the worst. Those two are definitely the worst finales. That just went from like being a solid show to then just fucking painfully mediocre. Like odd.
Now this is funny because on Moon Knight need to be saved by his girlfriend many times in the season finale, and he is the main character. Like, you make every guy incompetent or what?
Yeah, I don't. Jesus Christ, Moon Knight. Yeah, I don't even know what they were trying to do with it. Do you know? Like, it seems like they lost. They had like an idea for obviously like the first three episodes. Like, okay, got a good grasp here, and then it's like after that they just didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
They
They gave
wanted
the
to do a
screenplay.
Layla show, but they knew it would not sell, so they smashed Moon Knight title in the show.
It's like I'm cool with like adding that character to it, and having those scenes like that's fine. But Jesus Christ, we needed more Moon Knight stuff though. Like before we got to that, like what we got in episode two, needed more of that throughout the show.
I actually agree a lot with you, and my biggest issue, like, before, like, thinking about how many time we have seen Moon Knight on screen, I was giving the season 7.5 out of 10. But then I was looking back, I was like, I don't have enough Moon Knight. So it dropped down to 6.5 just because we don't have enough Moon Knight.
hmm And then God, they advertised that guy who passed away from like the skiing incident as like the secondary villain. and that he would be in like 5 out of 6 episodes, and then he was literally just a small appearance in one episode. A fucking slimy ass MCU.
And it's very sad because I feel like we could have explored, we could have met the third personality Mark had by episode 4 instead of spending time with
Mm-hmm.
Layla, backstory, and her struggle. Like, Mark and Steve are the main character, and he has several personalities. So why don't you fully embrace it and just let us know the third one? And the third one is more like, oh, cliffhanger. Let's hope we get season 2, but I don't know if they will get it because Oscar Isaac wants something good, and we will see. What's your
I
take?
think we'll get a season 2. I think they'll greenlight it. I just definitely not interested. That finale was trash in every possible way. Just hated it. I hate how they handled the mental topic. I knew that it wouldn't be handled well just because it wasn't in the comics, like the disorder, but fuck it, they could have done a better job at that still. Could have took notes from it. Uh just fuck me. That show was so disappointing. I thought they would actually like do it well for once with an adaptation, but god, it was not good at all. And it made no sense. Why did that did like sorry, what's her name? Uh, What's the girl's name again? Do you know?
Layla.
Yeah, Layla. So why she refused to his offer there, but then she accepted the offer of some random one? Like Jesus,
Look,
that made no
this thing
sense.
I actually agree. She doesn't trust Moon Knight because Mark doesn't trust Moon Knight. So this is kind of a good reason, I think. And I am happy because otherwise we would have a gender swap Moon Knight again. But
I'm not saying I would have wanted that, but Jesus, it made no sense though. Like in my opinion, because I get why not trusting him like that. Yeah, but it's the same deal with the one she accepted though. She knew
yeah,
that, so it's like what
I
that made
actually
no
agree on
sense.
that. I really agree on that. I think they only gave her that because they are like, let's have a Scarlet Scarab show. Moon Knight worked, right?
It's like fuck. It's like I didn't mind her character at all. I liked it.
So
It's
you liked her
just
character?
I did. It's just we just God they spent too much time and we needed more Moon Knight. Just fuck.
So what did you like about Layla? I'm wondering. Because I despise that character. It's awfully written. Like, having a character that knows kung fu doesn't make a character strong. It's the writing of the character and how interesting the character is and how he interact with the universe. But that's just me. Did you like Layla?
I just like the performance mainly, and I like the character from like the comics and stuff. I just think it's fucking. I agree with the writing. It's just
So you
poorly.
actually like the Layla in the comics, and do
Yeah.
you think it may affect your judgment on the Layla in the show? I'm wondering.
Not really. I like to kind of separate it. It's just I agree if you the writing was bad. It's just I like the performance though.
Yeah,
I did like the action scenes, but it definitely felt like cliche and empty. Definitely with the character and the writing. With that scene with Ethan Hawke's character, like
that
so cliche. I've seen it done a million times in shows, but yeah, I mean, I like the performance by the actress though, and I like the performance by Oscar Isaac, and I like the performance by Ethan Hawke. I just poorly written, poorly handled.
I agree with that, and this is interesting because I feel like the main cast, the main character in each show does carry on the show on their shoulders because they are the right pick. Oscar Isaac was great as Moon Knight, and take him out and the show drops a lot. It's relevant because of him, and it's the same with Miss Marvel. I think Miss Marvel as a character is very interesting, and I think as well that the actress is invested and she really wants to be there. And
Mm.
based on interviews I've seen, she's into comics as well, so you can feel the passion in that. So what's your
I
take?
definitely like the actress from it. Yeah. definitely, and it's definitely an interesting character. I just think they've done a poor job with it so far in every adaptation, every comic book. Just like really the fucking that awful Avengers video game is probably the best thing the character Miss Marvel's ever in.
That's interesting, and I do agree. Like me personally, so far with the 5 episode we got, it's a real mixed bag. I didn't like episode 1. I was like, "What is this? Why am I watching?" And then I realized I will do a video Miss Marvel versus Stargirl as TV shows to really pinpoint like
Hmm.
which show is the best written. And I do think Stargirl is much better as a TV show. It's more
Probably.
entertaining, and they know their target audience. And as of Miss Marvel, I feel like they're like, we only want to please Pakistani people because I don't see enough superhero stuff. So I don't think their target audience is the fan base of superhero stuff. If they do, then they missed the mark. But that's the thing. I don't think they were aiming for
It's like it felt like they were like making a Disney Channel show.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, and that's very sad because I think it's wasted potential with the actress, and that's a good actress. As I said, I can relate to a lot of stuff she is living through. I was daydreaming a lot at school. I didn't know where I was going at school as well, so I can relate to a lot of aspect to that character, and I think
The
your
same.
adventure to become a superhero is interesting, but the story surrounding that is poorly executed.
Yeah. Definitely could have easily done like a well executed sort of like Peter Parker type story with her want to become a superhero, but yeah, they poorly executed it really so far. Like the thing that's holding the show together for me and making it decent like all the others is yeah, mainly the characters and the actors. I really invested in them. But yeah, the story and writing aren't really doing the best job with keeping it together.
If I
There is some
wasn't
lore stuff that's
making
also
my
kind of
video,
interesting.
I would just drop on that show, to be honest. I keep watching because
Yeah.
I work on my video and I see good stuff. Look, episode 2 was
Mm.
really good in my own opinion. It was one of the best the series had. Episode 4 as well was really good, but episode 5 was
Episode 4 is my
awful.
favorite.
Eh?
Oh, you did not like episode 5.
No, it's the worst so far for me.
Well,
What's your
I need
thought?
to finish that because damn, it's
It's
not a good sign.
it's look, when I do my reviews, I go by bullet point what I liked, what I didn't like, and that's part of the review because of course we speak about the episode. And my video about Stargirl and Miss Marvel is basically I play side by side some episode of both season that match. So for example, episode 1 and 2 they match, but in Stargirl, since there are 13 episodes, episode 5 and 6 will match to 12 and 13. So I place them side by side and I speak about what I like, what I dislike, what's good, what's wrong, what works, what doesn't work. And I can see bleeding issues with Miss Marvel, and I don't see these bleeding issues with Stargirl. And that's funny because they may have similar target audience because they are both teenagers, but this is the execution on how it's done. And I think with Stargirl, they didn't want like only Pakistani people to like it. It's not even for Pakistani people, but do you know what I mean?
I mean, I did like the aspects they did with it though. Like because there was a lot of like stereotypes of like Pakistani people and stuff. I did like those elements. But again, knowing like the comic books, there were other elements in it with the culture clashes and stuff that I thought was really good. That yeah, they removed from this as well, and that was one of my favorite parts. I just for decision making, but I definitely agree with you so far. I haven't seen episode 5. Definitely scared to see it now, but I'll see it. Jesus
It's
Christ.
it's really bad. Like it's a pin ultimate episode. Usually in a season, when you do a pin ultimate episode, you should know the villain. You should know what they do and why they do it, and you should build up to the last episode and say, "Look, you have seen everything to lead to this moment. And now you understand what is going on, and now you root for the good guy or the villain for good reason or bad reason because you understand what is going on. But here with Miss Marvel in episode 5, it just feels like another filler. And this is so disappointing because you got 6 episodes, and I feel like we had 2 entire episodes of filler, and we still barely know the villains. Villains are villains because they are villains. It's frustrating. It's really sad because if they had competent writer, if their focus was on the story of superhero and villain instead of cultural things, I do think they would do great thing with the show. We still don't know by the end of episode 5 or why they were villain. We still don't understand that switch they turned on, and at the start of episode 3 they were with Kamala, but at the end they were against her. We still don't understand that switch. So I'm like, whatever, okay.
Yeah, I still don't. I have to agree with you. Also, the one thing I hate the most is the FBI agents. I fucking hate those characters in this.
We don't even see them in episode 5, and that's my biggest issue because it's filler.
Terrible.
You are building up to your season finale. Now, the
Even
only
before them, they build up to the season finale, and then it's just shit. They did that with Hawkeye and Moon Knight. It's
yeah,
gonna be another one.
and it's sad because the cliffhanger is actually the only thing I liked in episode 5. The only thing I was able to praise. The rest is it's so sad because for me Stargirl is a blueprint for that kind of show because they have similar target audience and they did work. It's good, and Miss Marvel cannot do the same. It's so sad because it's not that hard. You just need to place your focus at the right place and not write some weird dialogue. Do you remember episode 4? We had a scene where they were speaking about whitewashing the food. What was your reaction when they had that dialogue?
Uh, Trying to make a joke,
Trying to make a joke.
and it kind of failed.
Yeah, you see, I had a few smiles here and there within all 5 episodes, I should say. I had some smiles, some very small laugh at some moments, but I think they try really hard to be funny, but they are not. And it's very sad. It doesn't land for me. Is it landing for you the other times where they tried?
At times, yes. Other times, no. Uh, I will say though, as much as I fucking hate the power change, and hopefully that will bring back her old powers from the comics, like later on, maybe like she learns more. But I will say like what they've been doing with the powers, though the new ones, I liking a bit more. Like they've been at least trying to make it like fun. But yeah, I just
Do you like the
I
fight choreography in general?
uh fuck the fight choreograph.
When you're
It's
thinking about it,
enjoyable.
that means there's not enough action.
I think it's enjoyable, but it's not well done fight choreo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think the strength of the show is the action. Even if it's not the best action out there, there's much more better stuff. But it's part of what I like about that show, and there's not enough of that. What's your take on that?
There's not enough action, in your opinion. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. There's not enough action.
Uh, I mean, you going into it, it would there really wouldn't be much action, so I don't really care about that. It's just I kind of wanted like in there where would be action scenes. It would be at least a bit longer, sort of like the action scenes in Hawkeye, like the one in like episode 3 and stuff. But I that's all I really wanted. But they're pretty short. Yeah, not much. So yeah, I'd have to agree if you was kind of disappointed in that aspect as well.
What was your favorite episode so far with Miss Marvel?
Episode 4. probably because that's I don't know if it's the best one. It's just it's the one where I'm like, okay, it isn't a terrible show so far. Episode after episode 1 and 2, I'm like, okay, I kind of understand it more. After episode 3, I'm like, okay, I can see why people enjoy more. I still don't get like these like 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, but okay, it's fine. And then episode 4, probably at least the second best episode so far, but my personal favorite was the one where I'm like, okay, I think this is a solid show now so far. Like the also the other MCU shows, but I mean, we'll see if that lasts after episode 5 of what you said about it. So yeah, I did like episode 4, but and or the jokes landed in that one, in my opinion. But yeah,
So
the FBI characters were fucking terrible, though. Jesus Christ.
I fully agree with you. They are one dimensional. They are boring, and I think they were just depicted to be bad guy villain, bad guy racist. That's the way I perceive them, and it's so boring to have that kind of villain. It's
Jesus
like
Christ, I think characters in like the Purge have more fucking are more dimensional than these FBI characters.
I actually agree with you. And the Purge is the horror movie, like yo.
Yeah, no, it's just like just those random psychopaths in the Purge have more fucking these more character building than these FBI agents. Like Jesus fuck, and they have none, but it's still more.
And it's frustrating because we get to see Camilla eating all the time, and she's like, "Oh, look how different this culture is. Look how different this is in Karachi. Look how different we are." But we still don't know why the FBI are so annoying. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn more about them. Like, instead of spending time in Karachi or in the past to explain stuff we don't need to know about, just give us what we want. The villain, why they are like that. Like, the villain origin story. And this is interesting because at first, with episode 5, I thought they would cover, like, the past of the Jinn. But in fact, that was the past of another character. And I was like, I don't even know that character. I don't know the character. I feel like there are too many characters for the small amount of screen time. We have 6 episodes, and it feels more crowded than the Flash season with 20 episodes.
Yeah, I really don't get it. Just fuck. I wanted to hear your opinion though on who because there are some theories like who her grandmother might be, who had like the powers. Like it could like tie into like another like an Eternal or something. What do you think about that?
I haven't watched the Eternals because it had so much backlash, and to be honest,
It's terrible, but fuck.
I haven't read any comics so far because it's really hard for me to get my hands on comics. But I've seen a lot of videos around because I like seeing people speaking about comics and stuff. So I think the grandma was probably just like Kamala. She had powers. I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't remember like exactly who they were referring to. I would have to like ask Chillmonger again, but there's a comic book character that they say could tie into it and be her grandmother because of certain things that are similar. So there's like that theory going on. Forgot who they were talking about, but yeah, I was just curious to hear your opinion, but I've got nothing myself really. And
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to lead anywhere because that's the MCU. They
I
have nothing lead anywhere.
and I think they have a lot of wasted potential in many places. You remember in episode 2 when she almost killed the child by trying to save him? He survived, but he almost died.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think we should like have a scene at the end of the episode or in episode 3 where we have Kamala wondering if she is really a good hero? Like a scene where you see her more conflicted than and doubting herself, like having some kind of let's think about what happened. Don't you think we have that need of a scene where we really need to know like how she is feeling toward that?
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. That would be better if there was a scene like that in, but I definitely don't think they're gonna do that though.
They don't.
Yeah, I mean they do it
That's
in all
lazy.
the great shows. Like they did it in like Invincible. Have you seen that?
I've heard about it a lot.
Oh, you definitely should. It's like even better than The Boys. It's amazing.
That's good. Then I have to watch The Boys as well eventually. I
It's
will.
on. Oh, you haven't seen The Boys yet?
No, sometimes
Oh,
I'm hard to like catch up to a new series. Like Stargirl, I waited until season 2 finished to start, and I wasn't disappointed. But The Boys, like right now, based on what I heard, I think I will give it a shot season 1 to see if I like it. But I have heard a lot of good about it. It's the same thing with what show? Gotham. Gotham. I took a full year before trying to jump in. You
uh,
remember Gotham?
I don't think I remember it.
That was an
Oh,
interesting.
Gotham. Oh,
Yeah.
Gotham. They said I watched the first like one or two seasons of it, and it definitely wasn't good. But everybody says after like the first couple seasons, it gets good. Like the first couple are terrible, but and then it gets good from there. But I've seen like clips from time to time and like of like characters just to check them out, but like the Riddler and stuff. But yeah, I haven't actually seen like later parts of the show. But yeah, people say it's good. But I mean, I don't
I
know if I
liked it.
quite buy it, but I'm sure it's decent. Yeah.
Um, yeah, like Miss Marvel, it's really sad because they have so many wasted opportunities, and it's the same thing in episode 4. Someone dies for her in the chase scene, and they don't
Mhm.
speak about that. It's just another guy
They
dying.
they could have definitely just like what they did Invincible, but this is the MCU. They never want to talk in depth about stuff like that. That'd be too much work, and you can't connect things either.
Yeah,
Fucking how it's like they'll like have small Easter eggs like throughout films or shows, the MCU, and then eventually like later on in their phases, they'll realize they need to like connect something, and then they'll just look back and like, oh yeah, we did this random Easter egg this one time in like a millisecond scene. We'll have that be a thing, and then everybody will be like, oh, they had a plan all this time. They knew what they were doing. No, they fucking didn't. They don't know shit. Kevin Feige and them.
that's very sad because here again in Stargirl, without without context spoiler, someone dies, and you see how she reacts, and this is genius when they do that because they take time to like let you know this kind of stuff affect people, and these characters should be considered like people even if they don't exist in the real world. They should be treated such as, so we are believing on what is going on with the show. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, fully.
So that's why I praise so much Stargirl, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes someone dies and they address it, and you realize,
Then
oh
you
wow,
you would definitely need to watch Invincible right away. They do that stuff a lot
that
perfectly.
sounds great. Now you sold it
It
for
is
me.
actually like a
Now
masterpiece of a show, probably the best like superhero property ever.
I will take a look at it. I will see on my website. I usually go if it's there. So
I mean, it's usually on Amazon Prime, but yeah, you could probably find it in like some sites like MovieJoy.to and stuff.
so what do you expect from episode 5 and 6 based on what's going on?
I just hoping it doesn't end up like Moon Knight or Hawkeye, but by the sounds of it, it is just where they just don't touch on a lot of things. They just like it's like they have how do I explain? It's like those like movie franchises who then want to like milk their audiences, so they split up the last film into two parts. And the first part is like slow as hell and they like barely touch on anything, and then the second part is like an actual fucking speed run, just quickly doing everything. There was
Exactly.
no need for it. And that's what like Hawkeye and fucking Moon Knight basically was with episode 5 and 6 or whatever. So that's what I'm hoping wouldn't be the case with Miss Marvel. But
Miss Marvel, it's that. It's that.
yeah, fuck me.
And I've watched it, and to be honest, I'm confused about some parts in the later parts in the episode just before the cliffhanger. I was kind of confused on what was going on. I was like, what? Well, nobody explained anything. It's just happening. They throw stuff at the wall and they hope it sticks. I'm like, okay, great. That's your
That's
writing.
pretty much every MCU property, though, don't you think? They just throw stuff at a wall. They don't care if it sticks or not. They'll just keep rolling with it. And then sometimes it eventually pays off for them, like they got with Infinity War and stuff. Unlike DC that just stops everything instead of just keep going and eventually will pay off. But
Superman and
so
Lois
far, it's
is
not
really
paying off for
good.
the MCU, though.
Superman and Lois is really good. They don't throw stuff at the wall hoping it sticks. They don't do that, at least.
Yeah. I
So,
definitely need to finish it. It's the one CW show I actually kind of like, so yeah, I'll definitely finish it.
where are you exactly in the season?
Again, I've watched like season 1, episode like 5 up until that point.
Oh, so here's the thing. Season 1 is amazing. It's my favorite. Season 2 has a lot of great stuff. The bigger storyline is better and more interesting, but there's a subplot that really bothered me and it dragged on a lot.
Well, see, that's why I say it's like a fluke though, because they made another typical CW show where they just take a superhero and just put him in like a regular world, just make it some fucking drama, but it actually ended up working with Superman since that's his character and what people want to see, just an immortal like trying to live a regular life. But that subplot there that I heard about that people hate, that kind of proves it because they do that in every CW show, those awful subplots that
But
no one wants really, that drags on.
I will also say this: the subplot I'm talking about is only in the early stage in the season, and this bothered me a lot. But after that, like, it's just greatness. Season 1
Mhm.
is clearly the best out of the two because it didn't add that. But season 2 is still worth watching, and it's still very strong. And I'm looking forward for season 3. Um, yeah, you should really give it a shot. It's well written. It's a very good show despite
Mhm.
that weaker subplot. It's really good. It's entertaining. This is what we want. And I don't know if you have seen the Black Lightning TV show in the past.
Black Lightning, no, I have not. I've heard of it. I have seen Doom Patrol. I'm loving that.
That's good. Have you seen Titans?
Uh, Never interested me.
Titans wasted potential here. Titans
I
could be
was.
amazing, but it's not really great. It's very sad.
Mm.
Um,
Did CW do Doom Patrol?
no, it was a DC channel, like the
Okay, well,
DC
that makes sense
streaming
then.
platform, and then they canceled the thing. They didn't
Oh, they
cancel the thing.
canceled it, right?
They didn't actually cancel the show. They canceled the streaming platform, and I think Doom
Ah,
Patrol has been moved to like HBO Max. I think.
HBO Max, yeah.
Yeah, I think now it's on HBO Max right now. But if that could push you to watch Stargirl, season 1 wasn't made by CW. It was made by HBO
Oh,
Max.
really?
No,
It wasn't made by I heard all this time it was made by CW.
CW had production, like they could actually like air it, but they only picked up in season 2. Season 1
I
was made
see.
by HBO Max. It's like Superman and Lois. Superman and Lois was also made by HBO Max, I think.
Oh, well, that explains a lot then why those shows are actually solid. Shit.
But that's funny because Stargirl's second season was made by CW, and there this is true. But in my personal opinion, the second season is the best out of the two. Even if
Really?
that may sound shocking, it was a really amazing season for me, season 2, and it was made by CW.
Mm,
But yeah, season 1 was made by HBO Max. And you can tell
I did
based
not realize that.
on the visuals. Visuals.
It, I'll definitely watch it when I have time, but again, there's like 500 shows I'm behind on. God. Yeah,
Keep up
I
with
don't even think I
Superman and
finished.
Lois. Keep up with Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
That's worth watching.
Like I haven't even like finished Squid Game. I think there's still like one episode left. I need to watch on it.
That's funny. I haven't seen Squid Game yet. I know it's good. I know everyone is saying it's good.
Yes, it's great, but it's not like a masterpiece or amazing like people think. It's just like this is what happens. It happens all the time with like Japanese or Korean shows, just foreign shows like this, ones that go viral. It's like they're great still, the ones that go like viral, but there's a lot better ones. It's just they're more like general audience friendly and with the premises and it's new. Like they majority of the people calling it like amazing and a masterpiece probably hasn't seen much South Korean or Japanese IPs before, so to them this is like, oh, this is something genius. But to like if you the people who've seen more South Korean like films and shows, it's up there, but yeah, not that high up. But so that's my opinion on it.
I've just seen Stranger Things. I haven't seen season 4, but I've seen the other 3. I've
I
just seen.
haven't finished it yet, but yeah, I did watch part one of season four, and I did watch one to three. Season one was great, and season two and three and four are just they're solid TV and family shows, but definitely nothing very good or what were needed. There was a lot of dumb writing, but I enjoyable still, enjoyable solid shows. Just yeah, nothing special after season one. Definitely didn't need, and it just did a lot of fan service for the hell of it.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Now let's go back to Miss Marvel season 2. Are you looking forward for it or not really? Because
They announced a season two, right?
yeah, do you think they
Uh,
will hit the mark next time, or because season 1 failed, season 2 will fail as well?
no, I think they'll take notes. I think they will. I think it will be kind of like the Witcher show. They'll definitely take notes. They'll listen. And it might not be an improvement though. It might just be like as good or as alright, or just like the Witcher show. But they'll definitely try. I think with this one in season two to improve on its errors. I just hope that eventually the longer she's a hero for they'll eventually like change her powers back into like the actual comic book powers. Uh, it's just stupid to me that they really did that change just because fucking Mr. Fantastic, whatever.
So I think it was also because there was a racist thing in her powers, and they didn't want to like looks like racist or something. That's what I heard.
A
I don't know if
racist.
it's true.
Uh, was there a racist thing in her powers? I don't know.
We
Can't remember.
That's what I heard. Like at first they wanted to make her like comic book accurate, but then some people complained, and then they changed it for like Green Lantern like.
Hmm. I see.
So I think one of the biggest strength of the show is really the main character and the fact that she had to work on herself, and it's rare people really let the character grow and try to improve, and that's amazing. What do you think about that? What's your favorite thing about the show?
Favorite thing about the show is, yeah, I like the character dynamic, just all the vested in all of them, even the side characters. Like again, besides the shitty FBI agents, I like all the characters. A lot of people like criticized her fodder character and stuff. I didn't mind it. Like, and I just like it and I like the actors. I just think the writing let them down. But yeah, I would say that's my favorite part of that, and touching on those things and touching on certain things with the 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 culture clash. But
Yeah.
even if they took away some things, they could have added in it as well. But yeah, that's definitely my favorite part of it. And it carries the show despite its weaknesses to being a decent show in my opinion. Still, we'll see if that stays though after episode 5.
I cannot wait to have you next week if we do it next week. If you come back here,
Oh
cannot
yeah.
wait to have your thoughts.
Hey,
Oh,
Alan, how about this? I'll finish. Yeah, I'll watch episode 5 and episode 6, Miss Marvel. And is there any other show you want me to? Okay, Stargirl. I'll watch Stargirl and finish Miss Marvel, and you can try to get started or watch season 1 of Invincible. How about that?
I will actually watch the entire season. How many episodes is Invincible? Because at work you can watch stuff. So how many episodes is Invincible? Maybe I can watch the
Let's
full season.
see.
How many?
Episode total. There's 8 episodes.
Oh, I can do it tonight. Tomorrow it will be over. So we will
I'm
speak.
pretty sure like season 2 they God, how many episodes did they say? 20 episodes there's going to be in season 2 of Invincible. There's 8 in season 1, so going to be a lot of stuff for season 2. But yeah, so 8 episodes there, and I'll
Yeah,
watch the first season of Supergirl, maybe sorry, Stargirl, and maybe season 2 if I have time, and then yeah, I'll finish Miss Marvel.
yeah. I cannot wait for that. Now, before we leave, are you looking forward to see She-Hulk? Be honest here. We are honest here.
Like, God, people, we did a stream of what we were excited for coming up in the MCU and DC, and there were like 5 people that put She-Hulk in S tier. Those fucking capping motherfuckers.
What?
Uh, on,
What?
no, I don't mind. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not too familiar with the character She-Hulk. Honestly, so but
Have
I
you
would.
seen the trailer?
Yeah, the trailer was a disaster, but it was unfinished, so I won't like judge it when I see it based off of that. But there were parts in the trailer that I liked, other parts not so much. It's just another typical MCU show to me.
This is
So
how they
yeah, well,
try to sell it. This is how they try to sell it, man. I was so offended by like the bad humor. It's not even funny. It's just cringe. It feels like they try to be like CW, but for older people. I really don't know what they are trying to do with this one.
maybe God. I mean, I like the actress, but God, the lines she was delivered just fuck me. It's bad,
Even
really
CW
bad.
does it better.
Yeah, God, I can't believe they're fucking David Otunga's in the show. That pisses me off. Fuck that guy. Arrogant motherfucker.
So that was it for the show of today. Thank you very much for coming. Next week we will find a time. I have a lot of free time, and we will follow your availabilities or your free time, I should
Yeah,
say.
we'll try to maybe Thursday, because yeah, I guess league shows MSK wants to do our Wednesday, so yeah, we can try
Perfect
to
for
do
Thursday
Thursday.
then. Is there anything
Yeah.
else we would like to add before we end this stream?
Um, how much? Oh, just one question. Are you gonna see Thor: Love and Thunder in theaters or no?
I will wait until I see a lot of reviews, because I will be
Mm-hmm.
honest. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was something I was looking forward until the reviews. And Doctor Strange was one of my favorite character in the MCU, with Iron Man as well. There are two great characters, and based on the reviews I've seen, and I've seen detailed reviews like frame by frame. I watched a podcast. It's called Every Frame a Pause, and they really analyzed the movie in detail. And they spent 10 hours on that movie with like 6 person, 7 person in the panel, and they all spoke about everything about the show, and they spoke about stuff they like, but also stuff that didn't work and stuff that failed. And one of the biggest point they had is Doctor Strange character assassination. And the other thing they
Uh,
said is Wanda was the main villain. Well, not the main villain, the main character, I should say. Now, it's normal when you have a villain, that villain have a huge role in your story, but if your villain like crushes your main character in terms of like the weight and the story the character is given, then this is where it's wrong. Your main villain should never like replace your main character, but that's just me. You need the right balance. You need a strong villain, but also a strong main character. And based on the reviews, I was like, okay. So, have you seen
yeah,
Doctor Strange?
yeah. Basically, I can see what you're saying there with Wanda and stuff, but I mean, yeah, I liked Wanda in it though. I liked Doctor Strange in it. And I like America Chavez in it as well. I mean, that finale though was kind of poor though, and with her fight at the end. But um, basically though, most of the typical MCU stuff that was in it was pretty fucking bad. But all the stuff that really felt like a Sam Raimi film was very good. And overall, I would say it's a solid film. 5 or 6 out of 10, definitely about like the same as the first Doctor Strange, quality wise, on the same level as it. And yeah, in the middle, higher level of like MCU films, or the higher level, I would say. Uh, because I
I
really
like
like the
the
Sam
first one.
Raimi stuff in it. Yeah,
I
the
like the
MCU
first one
stuff
a
really
lot.
annoyed me though.
I like the
Do
first
you
one.
like the first one?
Yeah, I
Oh,
liked it. It's not my favorite by far, but it's somewhere there. It's I liked it.
yeah, it's very good.
And here's the thing: Love and Thor, Love and Thunder. It just feels like another sequel we don't really need. But that's just me. Like Thor, the first two may have like bad feedback and they are flawed. They have a lot of
Hmm.
weaknesses. But I think the intent was there. They wanted to do something that felt original, something that felt like they thought Thor should be, and I liked the vision. Now, of course, it flawed. It's not. It's among the weakest movies in the franchise, but I did like what they tried to do. Now, Rock
Hmm.
was good because this is more entertaining and more interesting, but the vision was lacking. It felt like another
Hmm.
MCU movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's exactly why Love and Thunder I'm turned off, and I was so
I
disappointed.
was not a huge fan of Ragnarok, so I can't say I'm a huge fan of this going into it. But
It's the thing. Like Moon Knight disappointed me so much. Now I'm like, I will wait until people speak about it. And like I watch reviews from everywhere. The anti woke people and some people that will defend everything. I watch reviews from everywhere because I don't want to be an echo chamber, and I want to have everyone takes on everything. So
yeah, God,
that's the
don't
way.
watch anything from fucking Hassan. Fuck that piece of shit.
So I
God.
watch everything like, and if the feedback I get from everywhere are like good for me and enough to sell me the movie, I will go watch it. But if based on like some people liked it and some people didn't like it, I won't risk myself into going there because I feel like it will be a Jane Foster movie and not a Thor. Thor will just be like a guest in his own movie. That's what I
Well,
think
to
will
be
happen.
fair, I mean, we in going into it, we knew it would be like 50-50. It is Thor: Love and Thunder, so for
Yeah,
me, I'm not interested in it because yeah, I didn't really now I didn't hate Ragnarok like other people. I liked the changes they tried doing, and I liked it visually, and like I like certain things. I just there are just a lot of other things that really failed in my opinion. And I just think Taika Waititi is kind of an overrated director. I think he's a good one, just an overrated one. But so Love and Thunder. What I heard of it and I've seen so far, again, it looks good visually, and
but
and yeah, there are certain parts of it that seem good. It's just there's
I
a
think
lot of bullshit in it by the sounds of it, and it seems like they really dropped the ball with the villain character.
based on what I heard, he has like 5 minutes, and I'm like, that's your main villain, and you give him 5 minutes. What the?
And it's happened in Ragnarok as well. They fucking ruined the
Yeah,
villain,
but
and it seems like that's what they did as well. And it's just this is the same story we've seen a billion times from all the Thor films. Just him finding
exactly,
himself. We've seen this in like all four of
exactly,
them. This is
exactly.
and also one of the biggest thing I liked from Ragnarok was the chemistry of like the characters and like him and like Tessa Thompson, but they're gonna be separated for like most of the film or something, so we're not gonna get much of that. Which was
We
the
got
best part
King
of like
Valkyrie
Ragnarok.
instead. King
It's like we
Valkyrie.
it's like we're not gonna get much there again, and also fucking Natalie Portman's character. I'm go, yeah, I like Jane Foster. I don't mind the character in the comics and stuff, and I actually like that What If episode, like her character in that. But I'm not a huge Natalie Portman fan, and I hated her in all the MCU films so far before this. I just think I don't think she's a bad actress. I think she's a good one. I just think she's one of the most overrated actresses, and I think she's one that basically anytime a film isn't good or she works with a director who isn't great or like a legend, she can't carry it. She can't stand on her own. And I didn't I hated her in the first and second Thor, and now she's gonna be like 50% of the main character in this one. Like not interested. Sorry.
I fully agree with you. So here again, thank you for coming. And next week we will do that on Thursday. And yeah, is there anything else you would like to address?
No, that's it. But yeah, thanks for having me. Definitely. Hopefully next Thursday, if I have time.
Yeah, that was very fun. So have a great day and take care of yourself.
Too.